Hi, my name is Mary. Thanks for joining me. Welcome to your practice. Today is the spring equinox, equal day, equal night. So let's practice finding some balance in our yoga practice so we can find balance in our lives. Let's come to your mat. Let's start in an all fours position. So in your all fours, spread your fingers wide. Your knees will be about hip width distance apart. And let's just start by coming into a pose called Chakra Bakasana. So that's essentially just first coming into cow pose with your chest forward, tailbone up, and then moving towards cat pose, rounded spine, tucking in chin and tailbone, and then sinking towards child's pose. And then moving back to all fours. So let's do that a couple times with breath. So when you're ready, take a breath in with your tailbone and chest up. And then as you exhale, round your spine, tuck in chin and tailbone, sinking towards child's pose. And then when you're ready to breathe in, come all the way back to cow pose. And let's do that one more time, just moving in your own time with your own breath. And then we'll meet in all fours. Now from all fours, what we're going to do is step right foot back, so the ball of the right foot will be on your mat, and then extend your left arm long in front of you, just like you're shaking someone's hand. So now from here, stretch the crown of your head forward, your left arm forward, and then you can either push your right heel back towards the back of the room. Maybe you lift your right leg off the ground. So stretching in two directions, finding that balance, feeling your spine expand. Now this time step left foot back, and then you can reach your right arm long. And once again, finding length. So this time stretching right arm long, crown of your head long, maybe reaching your heel back towards the back of the room, perhaps lifting your left leg up, and then let yourself come back to all fours. So now we're going to come to our first downward dog. So spread your fingers wide, curl your toes. Your knees can be very bent. Let's maybe pedal feet, so bending right knee, bringing left heel towards the ground, and then switching, so bending left knee, right heel towards the ground. So now look to your hands as you breathe in. Walk your feet up to your hands to come to half lift. So stretch the crown of your head forward, root your feet into the ground, and then allow yourself to fold. And just slowly rise up, keeping your chin tucked to your chest. And just like you're a sprout, sprouting from the ground, uncurling, letting your arms come up, reaching towards the sky, and then bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. Now come to the front of your mat. Now come into your mountain pose. So having your feet grounded, your knees slightly bent to activate the muscles of your legs. Take a breath in to expand your spine long, draw your shoulders down and back. We're going to step our right foot back, just enough that you can step forward again. So don't step too long. So we'll come into a high crescent pose. So you can start with your hands at your heart. And what we're going to do is just reach our arms up, and then we're just going to open up right arm back, left arm forward, and then come back to center. And let's do that one more time. Reaching, now really reach in two directions. So reaching one arm one direction, the other the opposite. So feel an openness in your heart, feel the strength in your front leg, and then just bring your arms back up to center, and then bring your hands to your heart and down to your sides. So let's do that on the other side. So come to the front of your mat, and I'm just switching sides so I can face you. So take a breath in, bring your hands to your heart. Now step your left foot back this time. And then you can stretch left arm back, right arm forward. Come back to center. You could bring your arms up. And let's do that again. So stretching in two directions. Focusing on nice, smooth, steady breaths. Come back to center. And then you can just step your foot up. Now come to the wide side of your mat. Step your feet so that your toes are pointing outward. Place your hands at your heart. Now we're going to just squat down. So really now feeling the strength in your legs. So let's take a breath here. And then as you breathe in, open up wide, straightening your legs, maybe gazing up at the ceiling. And then as you exhale, coming down. And then let's do that a couple times with breath. So just moving and flowing with your breath. Exhaling down. Breathing in, feeling the strength in your legs, feeling yourself growing and sprouting. And then you can bring your hands to your heart. Now, point your kind of heel toe your toes so they're pointing in. So you can have a slight bend to your knees. Take a breath into star pose, and then we're going to fold forward. So you can have, depending on your flexibility in the back of your legs, you can have your knees a little bit bent, but just let your neck relax so that the crown of your head moves towards the floor. So now just take a breath or two here. Now we're going to do that little pivot with our toes. So your toes are pointed out again. Bend your knees. Place your hands on your low back. Rise up and back. So now you can just heel toe your feet together. Come to the front of your mat. Let's take a breath in. And we're going to fold, plant your hands, step into all fours, and then let yourself sink into child's pose. And then let yourself come back to all fours. Make your way to a seat. And we're going to do boat pose. Bring your chest forward and just allow yourself to sink back on your sitting bones. So your feet will come off the ground. So this might be where you stay. The other option is to lift your shins so they're parallel to the ground. So scooping your belly in using your core muscles. The next option is to lift your hands up. So remember to keep your chest open. And then finally, reaching your toes forward. And then give yourself a hug. And then let yourself come onto your back. And then you can place your feet on the ground. Your hands will be resting, your arms will be resting by your sides. We're going to come into a moving bridge pose. So as you take a breath in, press the backs of your arms and your feet into the earth and let your hips rise up. So that's your breath in. And then as you exhale, just let your spine lower to the ground, one vertebrae by vertebrae. So now let's bring hands and feet up to the sky, and let's just do a couple of rolls with wrists and ankles, one direction, and then the other. And then let's take a full body stretch. Arms one direction, legs the next. And then you can come to your final resting position, which could be Shavasana with your arms by your sides, palms up, your legs in a V. If that doesn't work, find a position where you can find stillness for just a few minutes that we have for the rest of our class. First, just noticing where your breath is at right now in this moment. And notice how long it takes to breathe in and out. For example, maybe your breath in is a count of 2. See if you can match your breath out for a count of 2. I'll read a poem to you by Jess Weiss. Today, most especially, we honor in the balance Day meets dark in equal parts, but we are tipping into the light. Take a moment to roll onto your side, maybe bringing your knees up towards your chest. And just take a moment in gratitude, thanking yourself for practicing today. And then when you're ready, you can come to a seated position. Draw your hands to your heart. Thank you for practicing with me today. Namaste.